The Duke of Burgundy, for his part, had taken up his residence in Paris and had mounted a guard of his own gentlemen about his niece, the little Jeanne of Navarre. The treasury was empty. There was a sinister wind of rebellion blowing through the city, and this rivalry of regents could but end in the greatest calamities. In Bouville's opinion, Queen Clemence should have been made regent, and surrounded by a council of the crown composed of Valois, Poitiers, and the Duke of Burgundy. Interested though he was in these events, Ptolemy several times endeavoured to bring Bouville back to the subject in hand. Of course, we shall look after this young lady," replied Bouville, who immediately returned to his political preoccupations. Had Ptolemy any news from Lyons? The curator had taken the banker familiarly by the shoulder and was practically talking cheek to cheek. What? Gautier was shut in the conclave with Douete. Oh, what a clever boy! Did Ptolemy think he could communicate with his nephew? If he should receive any news from him, or was in a position to send him a message, would he let him know? It might be a very valuable channel. As for Marie— "Oh, yes, of course," said the curator. "My wife, who is an intelligent and extremely competent woman, has done all that is necessary. Don't worry." Madame de Bouville was summoned. She was a thin, authoritative little woman. Her face seamed with vertical wrinkles, and her withered hands were never still for an instant. Marie, who had until then felt safe with the fat Ptolemy and the equally fat Bouville, at once had a sensation of unease and anxiety. "Oh, so it's you whose sin has to be concealed," said Madame de Bouville, examining her with eyes that lacked all kindliness. "You are expected at the convent of the Clarisses. The abbess showed very little eagerness, and less still when she heard your name, for it appears that, by I know not what link, she is related to your family, and your conduct is most displeasing to her. However, the interest which Monsieur Hugues, my husband, enjoys carried weight. When I had insisted a little, she agreed to shelter you. I will take you there before nightfall." She talked quickly, and it was difficult to interrupt her. When she stopped to take breath, Marie replied with great deference, but also with considerable dignity. "Madam, I am not in a state of sin, for I was married to my husband before God." Now, replied Madame de Bouville. "Don't make us regret the kindness we're showing you. Give thanks to those who are taking the trouble to help you, instead of putting on airs." Ptolemy thanked them on Marie's behalf. When she saw the banker about to leave, she felt so sad, lonely, and distressed that she threw herself into his arms as if he had been her father. "Let me know what happens to Gautier," she whispered in his ear, "and let him know that I long for him." Ptolemy left, and the Bouvilles also disappeared. Marie remained all the afternoon in their antechamber, not daring to leave it, and with nothing to do but sit in the embrasure of the open window and watch the departure of Monseigneur Valois and his escort. For a moment the spectacle distracted her from her sorrow. She had never seen such beautiful horses, harness, and clothes, or in such great number. She thought of the peasants of Crécy dressed in their rags, their legs bound in strips of cloth, and thought how strange it was that human beings, who all had a head and two arms, and were all created by God in his image, should be of such different races, if one were to judge by their clothing. Two young equerries, seeing the beautiful girl gazing down at them, smiled at her and blew her kisses. Suddenly they gathered about a figure, dressed in silver-embroidered clothes.